Now at 9, we're tracking torrential rain across the Mid-South tonight, a look at the road conditions, and a warning of what you should do to stay safe. Plus, Memphis City Council tackled some hot-button issues today. We'll break down their votes and what that means moving forward. And a $70 million redesign plan for Tumley Park was presented to city leaders, the concerns they have tonight when it comes to Memphis in May.
Live from WLMT Memphis. Local every day. This is Local 24 News at 9 on CW30.
Well, there wasn't a shortage of rain falling across the Mid-South, and more rain is on the way. Good evening, everyone, and thank you for joining me. I'm Katina Rankin. Rudy is on assignment. We start with Local 24 Storm Team Chief Meteorologist John Bryant, who tells us how much more rain is on the way with our local flood alert. John?
All right, Katina, we have a lot more rain on the way this week. Now, the good news is we've had a few breaks in there tonight. As a matter of fact, you can see the tan on your map. That's where it's not raining near as heavily, but a pretty interesting little cell here near downtown Memphis with heavy rain right now on the Arkansas side anyway. Here's downtown Memphis right here. Here's that storm with about 12 strikes of lightning. We will see activity continue to push east tonight, and if it's not raining steadily and heavily at your house right now, it will be, because look how far back to the west this rain extends, way back into Arkansas with a line of storms as well. So we're tracking that, all pushing east, and we're watching this, a flood watch, a flash flood watch, which is in effect until Thursday morning. Quite honestly, I wouldn't be surprised at all if this is extended into the latter part of the week and the weekend. Actually, I believe that is a winter weather advisory also just to the northwest of Jonesboro. So we have it all for you tonight. This pattern is very complicated. The good news is we've had a little bit of a break tonight. The bad news is more rain is on the way, and we'll take a look at that with the hour by hour coming up a little bit later in this newscast.
Thank you. The Tennessee Highway Patrol is stressing 3 key points to keep you safe on the roads. 1, drive slow when it's raining. 2, keep your lights on. And 3, when you see water, turn around. Don't drown.
Do not underestimate the power of that current. It does not take much water to cause your vehicle to rise and flood and be swept away.
Rescue crews are on standby across the state. If you do need help, you should call THP at star 847 and call 911, of course, if there is a life-threatening situation. You also can get up-to-the-minute updates on the weather and flooding by downloading the local Memphis mobile app. It's free in your Google Play or iPhone App Store. Well, just into our newsroom, one man is dead and an off-duty Memphis police officer is injured after a road rage incident this evening. Now, according to Horn Lake Police Department, one driver cut another off. It was around 4:45 this evening at Hurt and Goodman. One car followed the other to Walgreens near Horn Lake Road in Goodman, where the two confronted each other. The off-duty officer was stabbed in the neck before he fatally shot the stabber. The officer was taken to Regional 1 and is expected to be okay. Local 24 News is following the story closely, and we will update you as any information comes into the newsroom. Local in Mississippi, law enforcement agencies in Oxford are asking people to avoid areas of campus where rallies will be held this weekend. 2 pro-Confederate groups, Confederate 901 and the Highwaymen, plan to meet on the square in Oxford and march to the Grove at Ole Miss starting at 1 Saturday afternoon. The rally and march will happen at the same time the group United Students Against Sweatshops will hold its national convention. Ole Miss's police chief says there have been meetings with the groups to make sure those areas are safe. New tonight, Memphis City Council voted on several hot topics during their meeting today. The council voted in favor of Saya Trucking Company's development in Oak Haven. Residents in that area were heavily against the company being built there. That was due to worries the facility would bring pollution, traffic, and noise. Council members also voted in favor of South Cordova's de-annexation. The area will now become an unincorporated area and fall under Shelby County's jurisdiction. The de-annexation will take effect in 2021. When it comes to MLGW, the council voted yes for water rate increase, no for electric. Now to a fight over money local in Memphis. 13 Memphis city unions representing 5,000 city workers are demanding a pay raise. The group, representing positions that range from fire, police to sanitation and 911 operators, say they haven't had a raise in years. Union leaders argue the city would pour big bucks into corporate developments but not compensate quality core services needed to keep the city running. Now, Mayor Jim Strickland's office responded late this afternoon, saying in part, tax incentives for businesses do not come out of the city's operating budget. The administration adds compensation is at the top of the mayor's priority list, and the city will negotiate with the unions in good faith. A $70 million redesign for Tom Lee Park is slated to be ready by the end of next year. Memphis and May officials are concerned the plans could affect the month-long celebration. City council members were told that everything will work out for those events. Local 24 News reporter Mike Matthews is local in Memphis.
You know, if you want to get officials and politicians to a meeting, bring the food out. That's what they did here. It was Taco Tuesday for Memphis City Council. For people with the Memphis River Parks Partnership, tacos were a small price to pay to get council members to take a look at a model of the makeover of the most famous park in Memphis.
This is going to be a Tom Lee Memorial Walk.
A park that currently is as flat as the fields of Kansas would change into a place with rolling hills, trees, and plenty of room, they say, for Memphis in May events. But things could change during construction.
This is the idea, but as it goes to practical reality and the engineers get hold of it, and the grading and the drainage and all the other trades and architects get involved to do their job, we may see some changes to this.
City council members got a look at a $70 million drain. At least that's what the cost is now. The goal is that half of that money would come from corporate donations.
This is the front door to the city of Memphis. It's a huge asset that's been underutilized, underinvested in.
Changes could hurt. Even a plan to cut down Riverside Drive to one lane. City Councilwoman Jamita Swearingen says some hotel and motel operators have told her they're worried.
Well, they feel that this design will deter the number of individuals that have been previously participating worldwide in the barbecue fest, that they will not have room for them, the participation. The vendors will not be able to participate. And how will the vendors be able to participate even if they change the streets from 2 lanes to 1 lane?
This is a big issue, and I can guarantee you that you're going to hear a lot more talk and a lot of people bringing up issues that perhaps weren't brought up before this thing gets off the ground. In Memphis, Mike Matthews, Local 24 News.
The new Professional Football League of the Memphis Express picked up a major investor just in time to avoid a financial fiasco. A $250 million commitment came as sources cited the Alliance of American Football was at risk of missing payroll, and this just weeks into the league's first season. Local 24 News reporter Brad Broders has the story, and it's all new at 9.
My investment will keep this thing years and years to come.
AAF Chairman Tom Dundon on a North Carolina radio station this afternoon discussed his $250 million commitment to the new Professional Football League. Before that cash came through, The Athletic reported the league was already in major financial trouble. The Memphis Express, who play at the Liberty Bowl, are one of the AAF's 8 teams.
They had the commitments to last a long time, but maybe not the money in the bank. My money's in my bank. I'm sure of it.
Dundon, who is also the owner of the National Hockey League's Carolina Hurricanes, made his major AAF investment official today. Without Dundon's cash, sources say the league was at risk of missing payroll last week.
The numbers and everything were great. It was just the way they raised their capital and the timing of it.
AAF co-founder Charlie Ebersol denied the investment was a bailout, telling ESPN, "When we got out of the first week of games, we saw there was so much interest from investors, and if we had one person who could take care of us for a very long time, that would be great." Last May in Memphis, J.K. McKay, the league's head of football operations, also promised the AAF would be here to stay.
The Alliance is the alliance of football and fans and our players, and we're going to try to do it better than anybody's ever done it.
CW30 is the official television partner of the AAF's Memphis Express, and CW30 will carry 3 live games this season. The league did debut as the highest-rated sports program in prime time in its first weekend. Reporting in the studio, Brad Broders, Local 24 News.
Local 24 News is your local election headquarters. Early voting starts tomorrow in the special election for the Tennessee District 32 Senate seat. Now, District 32 includes Tipton County and part of Shelby County. The seat became vacant when Mark Norris resigned to become a federal judge. Republican Paul Rose faces Democrat Eric Coleman. Rose is a businessman from Covington. Coleman retired from the Navy and lives in Bartlett. Early voting starts tomorrow and runs through March 7th. The general election is March 12th. We posted a link to voting locations and times in the Find It section of localmemphis.com. Tennessee Governor Bill Lee is about to cut a tax you pay and you may not even know about it. Also coming up and later at 9, what the governor has to say about expanding TennCare. And after the break, why a lawsuit from 16 states says the president's national emergency declaration was unnecessary.